An important topic in discussing limits is this idea of one-sided limits. So taking a look at this diagram here, I have some function f in black. And what I see is that if I were thinking about this like a roller coaster, and I were coming this way, where I think I'm going is different than where I end up. And if I thought about it going in reverse, where I think I'm going is here, but I abruptly stop and don't get back on the rails. And that's kind of the idea behind a one-sided limit. So if I'm approaching this from the left of it, so if I'm to the left of this value c, I have some value I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to L1. If I'm approaching it from the right, so to the right of this point, and I'm approaching it, I think I'm going towards L2 in terms of the function height. So in this case, I think I'm going towards L1 here. I think I'm going towards L2 here. And a way of writing that a little more formally is to say we have this limit as x approaches this c minus here. And we say that that limit is equal to L1. So as the limit of f as x approaches from the left. And then in this case we have x approaching c plus, and that's going to be L2. So again, that's the limit of f as x approaches from the right. So I go towards L2. So realistically, approaching left and right is an important topic. It's especially important when you have limits where your domains are these end, or you have a domain, you want to think about the endpoint. Sometimes you can only approach from one direction, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But specifically, if we want to talk about the limits of functions, left and right hand limits are one of the easiest way to check whether or not the limit exists. Because when we want to check the limit, it only exists if the right hand limit equals the left hand limit, and it's some finite number. So in this case, notice that L1 and L2 are not the same. So we would not say the limit exists as x approaches c for f. We want to get to the case where that's true. Using left-handed limits helps us determine whether or not we get there.